Chapter 1 I Never Asked to Hear Hearts. Opening hook. Have you ever wished you could understand people better? Until the day you actually did, and realized it might destroy you. I've spent most of my life learning how to disappear. Not in a dramatic way. Just quietly. Politely. Safely. When you grow up in a house where love is loud one day and gone the next, you learn something important early on. Don't expect permanence. My father left when I was 16. No big fight. No goodbye. Just an empty chair at dinner and a door that never opened again. My mother worked double shifts and smiled through exhaustion like it was normal. So yeah. I learned to rely on myself. That's probably why I chose a job like mine. Astra Corp. Big company. Big building. Small version of me. I'm an assistant analyst, important enough to be useful, invisible enough to be ignored. And honestly? That balance keeps me sane. I clock in. I work. I go home. No drama. No expectations. At least, that's how it used to be. The day everything shifted. The first time I saw Evan, I didn't know why my chest tightened. He walked into the office like he belonged there, but not in an arrogant way. Calm. Grounded. Like someone who didn't need to prove anything. Good morning, he said. I'm Evan. I'll be joining the team. Just Evan. No last name. No title. I remember thinking, people like him don't exist in places like this. When his eyes met mine, something in me flinched. I don't fall for people easily. Actually, I don't fall at all. So why him? The power, revealed through fear. That night, I thought I was dying. My head throbbed. My ears rang. My thoughts tangled into noise. Then a voice cut through it. He didn't eat again. I sat up so fast my vision blurred. What? I whispered. The voice wasn't mine. It wasn't loud. It wasn't scary. It was gentle. The next morning, when Evan stopped by my desk. He looks tired today. Still smiling though. My pen slipped from my fingers. That's when it hit me. I wasn't hearing voices. I was hearing him. His thoughts. His concern. His emotions. And God help me. They were all about me. Emotional peak, love plus fear. I shouldn't feel this way, Evan's thoughts whispered. I'm crossing lines I promised myself I wouldn't. My heart pounded. Why me? I'm not special. I don't shine. I don't even try. Then came the thought that cracked something open inside my chest. He deserves honesty, but if he knows I'm the CEO, I'll lose him. CEO? I almost laughed. Not because it was funny, but because it made sense. The way people listened to him. The way the room adjusted around his presence. I wanted him to see me as a man first. Not power. Not money. And then. I love him. Quietly. Stupidly. Completely. I had never been loved like that. Not even out loud. Later, my coworker Noah leaned over and whispered. Why does that guy walk like the building owes him money? I stared straight ahead and muttered. Because it probably does. Noah frowned. You okay? Yeah, I said. Just accidentally discovered a life-altering secret. That night, I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, my mind racing. I grew up learning that love leaves. That secrets break things. That power always ruins honesty. And now. The man who owned everything. Wanted nothing but me. So tell me. If you were me, would you let him love you without knowing you know the truth? Would you confront him for hiding who he is? Or would you walk away before it hurts? What would you do? Chapter 2, The Weight of Knowing. What would you do if every thought someone had about you was laid bare? Would you run? Or would you finally see the person they truly are? I thought hearing someone's thoughts would make life easier. It doesn't. It makes everything heavier. Every day at AstraCorp, I walk past Evan's office like I'm crossing a battlefield. Every smile, every glance, every casual sigh, his thoughts are a storm I didn't ask for but can't escape. He's worried about me. He noticed I skipped lunch again. I grip my pen a little too tightly. My chest tightens. I've known for 3 days, and I already feel like my heart is on fire. I start noticing things I didn't before. The way his fingers tap the corner of his desk when he's nervous. The way he stares at the city skyline for longer than necessary, as if he's imagining a life outside these walls. The little pauses before he speaks, like he's measuring every word, especially to me. And the thought that cuts the deepest? I hope he likes me anyway. I freeze mid-step, my coffee almost spilling. He doesn't know I know. And I don't know if I want him to. I've spent my life hiding. My life story is nothing glamorous. A childhood full of silence, learning to trust no one. Growing up believing love was a luxury I couldn't afford. Working a job I told myself I didn't care about. And now, this man, this Evan, is making me question everything. Why me? I ask myself silently. I'm just a junior analyst. I'm not special. But then I hear him thinking. He's funny. He's kind. I can't stop noticing him. I don't know if I should laugh or cry. Later, we're both staying late on a project. The office is quiet, only the hum of computers and the city outside. Evan leans against the desk, casually, except the casualness is a lie. I can hear the tension in his mind. I want to reach out, but he doesn't know who I really am. I can't risk it. I glance at him. And in that instant, I see the truth behind his polished mask. I see a man terrified of losing me before we even begin. Everything okay? I ask, my voice too soft. Yes, but I'm terrified. And I hear it. I hear the words he won't say. I want to touch his hand. I want to tell him I know. I want to tell him it's okay to feel. But I don't. Noah pops his head in through the doorway like a tornado. Liam. You've been staring at Evan for 10 minutes straight. Are you hypnotized? Or is he hypnotizing you? I scowl. Neither. I'm just observing. He raises an eyebrow. Observing. Sure. That's what they call it in spy movies, right? I mutter, I'm not a spy, Noah. He grins. Yet. The elevator dings. I glance up. Evan steps in, calm, collected. And in that brief moment, I hear the thought that makes my stomach drop. I can't let him see me like this. I'm too much. He's too perfect for me. I want to tell him. I don't care. I see you. I see everything. But I don't. Not yet. The weight of knowing is crushing. And I can't stop loving him. If you were Liam, would you reveal that you hear Evan's thoughts? Or wait and let him open up first? Is it fair to stay silent when someone you love hides the truth? What would you do? Chapter 3, Almost Normal. Have you ever wished life could go back to normal? But realized normal has a dangerous way of changing everything? It's a strange thing, thinking you know someone inside and out. But pretending everything is normal anyway. I've spent the last few days walking through the office like a ghost, listening to Evan's thoughts like some kind of forbidden secret. And honestly, it's exhausting. I tell myself, act normal. Don't make him uncomfortable. But normal was never part of my life. Not since my parents left, not in my cramped apartment, not in the quiet hum of my job. And yet, today feels almost normal. Noah leans over my desk with a grin. Liam, you look like someone just told you Evan is a secret superhero or something. Relax, man. I sigh. If only that were it. He squints. What? You didn't tell me his secretly. Oh no, don't tell me you're hearing his thoughts too. I freeze. How could I explain that? Just thinking too much, I mutter. Noah smirks knowingly. Sure. Thinking. That's it. Totally normal. The project is dragging, and we're stuck reviewing data Liam cannot care less about. Evan, on the other hand, is eerily calm, efficient, almost terrifyingly perfect. He notices everything. Every mistake. Every small detail. Even how I chew my pen like a nervous idiot. I glance at him. And for 1 second, our eyes meet. That flash of awareness, almost casual, almost normal, makes my chest thrum. Then, like clockwork, my thoughts are interrupted. He's funny. I like his laugh. I want him to notice me. I choke on my coffee. Almost normal. Right. Later, Clara, the senior manager, walks by. She's sharp, confident, the kind of woman who turns heads without trying. Evan, can I grab your opinion on the budget? She asks with a smile that drips something. And I hear it. She's smart. She'll be a problem if I let her near him. No, Liam. Calm. I remind myself. I don't own him. Still, my stomach twists. Why do I feel like a child guarding candy in a storm? Later, alone with Evan, we're sorting files side by side. The hum of the office is the only sound, except my heartbeat. I hear him think. I wish he'd see me as I am, not what I own. And I almost say it aloud. I already do. Instead, I just glance at him, letting my eyes speak what words cannot. And for a moment, the world outside the office fades. Almost normal. But it's not. And I'm not sure I ever want it to be. Noah bursts into the office again, waving a donut. Free food. And Liam, I swear, if you don't eat, I'm filing a missing person report for your brain. I mutter, it's fine. I'm full, emotionally. He frowns, emotional full? What does that even mean? I shrug, it's a thing. He groans and mutters under his breath. You're hopeless and I'm keeping score. Later, after everyone leaves, I sit alone with my thoughts. Evan's presence lingers like a warm shadow. He's worried about me. He notices everything. He cares. And then a thought slips through, jagged and sharp. I wish he would see me tonight. I close my eyes. Almost normal? Maybe. But I know the truth, my heart isn't normal anymore. And neither is his. If you were Liam, would you finally let him know you feel the same? Or keep hiding your knowledge and your heart? Can almost normal ever survive between love, secrets, and jealousy? What would you do? Chapter 4, The Girl Who Notices. What happens when someone sees what you want to hide? And suddenly nothing feels safe anymore? It's a quiet Thursday. The office hums with keyboards and printers. I tell myself today is just another day. But it isn't. Clara walks in. She's magnetic. Sharp business suit, confident stride, and that half smile that says she knows exactly what she's doing. Evan, can I get your opinion on the Peterson deal? She asks, her tone casual but deliberate. And my stomach flips. Of course she wants him. She's smart, ambitious, and can probably make anyone fall for her. I can feel it, before even thinking it. Liam, calm. Don't be jealous. Yeah, calm. Sure. I tell myself that every time my mind screams otherwise. I glance at Evan. He's leaning casually on the desk, reviewing documents, utterly professional. He doesn't even like her. I know that. I hear it. She's competent. That's all. But knowing doesn't stop the fire in my chest. Why does it hurt so much when he talks to her? He's mine. He just doesn't know it yet. And then she laughs, light, teasing, friendly, and I want to disappear. Later, Evan and I are alone. Sorting through late project files, our shoulders brush lightly. I hear him think. I wish he could see me, without all the walls. I freeze. That thought, he wants me to see him. Not his title, not his company, just him. I don't say it aloud. I just look at him. Our eyes meet for a long, quiet second. Almost normal? Almost. But it doesn't feel safe. Not while Clara exists in this small world we share. Noah pops his head in the doorway. Liam. I see you glaring like a storm cloud. Is it the coffee? Or is it that Clara person again? I growl softly. Neither. She's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. He laughs, pointing at me. Sure, buddy. You're calm as a hurricane over here. I mutter, I need a new metaphor for jealousy. Later, during a meeting, Clara casually glances at Evan and says, "Sometimes I wish you'd trust me more." Evan. My heart stops. I can literally feel Evan stiffen beside her. And then, the thought I've been dreading. I wish he were mine, fully. I hear it. Clear. Sharp. He loves me. And I realize, he's been holding back. Not from me, from the world. I want to tell him I know. I want to tell him I feel the same. I want to pull him into the quiet of the office and never let him go. But I don't. Because office politics and pride have a way of making love feel impossible. After everyone leaves, I'm staring at the city lights outside my window. Evan leans silently beside me, reading something on his tablet. He wants me to see him. He loves me. And yet, there's a wall between us. A wall of titles, secrets, and that girl who notices too much. Almost normal? Not even close. And I don't know if it ever will be. If you were Liam, would you finally act on your feelings or wait for him to make the first move? Should you confront Clara, or ignore her completely? Can love survive when jealousy, secrets, and rivals are in the mix? What would you do? Chapter 5, Lines That Blur. Have you ever been so close to someone that the space between you starts to feel like it's disappearing? And every touch, every glance, threatens to cross a line you can't take back. It was late. The office was silent except for the soft hum of computers and the occasional creak of the air conditioning. Most people had gone home hours ago. But not me. Not Evan. I was sitting at my desk, surrounded by spreadsheets I didn't care about, but for some reason, I couldn't leave. Because he's here. And there he was, Evan, standing at the printer, moving slowly, methodically, as if he had all the time in the world, just for me. I can hear him think. I shouldn't look at him like this. I shouldn't want him like this. I feel my chest tighten. I want him like this too. We're both pretending normal. But normal doesn't exist anymore. Not when the air between us is charged, not when every glance feels like a confession waiting to happen. I get up to organize some files. Our hands brush, lightly, accidentally, and I freeze. His hand feels alive. I hear his thought almost immediately. I can't touch him. Not like this. He doesn't know. I want to say. I know. I want it anyway. But the words stay trapped in my throat. Instead, I just glance at him, letting my eyes do the talking. And his gaze lingers on mine, heavy, searching, and gentle. Almost normal? No. Not even close. Clara's voice echoes in my head again, loud, teasing, confident. He's mine, if he wants me. But maybe. I grip the edge of my desk. No. Don't think about her. I know I'm being irrational. I hear him think clearly. I only see him. Only him. And yet, jealousy refuses to let go. Why does it hurt so much to know she exists in the same space? Later, Evan and I are alone again, cleaning up the last of the project documents. He's standing close. Too close. The faint scent of his cologne, calm, masculine, sends my mind spiraling. I hear him think. If he knew the truth, if he knew everything, would he hate me? I take a deep breath. I know everything. I want to reach out, brush his hair back, tell him. I don't care about the CEO. I care about you. Instead, I just stand there. Our hands almost touch again. Our shoulders almost brush. And the tension between us hums louder than any words. Lines are blurring. And I don't know where he ends and I begin anymore. Just as I'm about to finally breathe, my phone buzzes. It's a text from Noah. Are you still alive in the office? Or are you two having an awkward staring contest again? I groan, trying to hide my blush. Evan smirks, reading the text over my shoulder. Even in the middle of this tension, he's watching me. Almost normal? Ha! Not even close. Later, when I finally step out into the empty parking lot, I can feel his eyes on me. I hear one last thought echo in my head. I want him to stay tonight, with me. I freeze. Do I? Do I cross the line, or step back and pretend nothing happened? The air between us is thick. And I know, one wrong move could change everything. If you were Liam, would you finally take the step and confess? Or let the tension grow, risking losing him to distance, or someone else? Can love survive when lines blur between desire, fear, and respect? What would you do? Chapter 6, The Lie Feels Louder. What hurts more? Being lied to? Or knowing the truth and pretending you don't? Something changes after that night. Not in a way people can see. But in the way silence starts to sound heavier. I still come to work. I still sit at my desk. I still joke with Noah like nothing's wrong. But inside me, there's a storm. Because every time Evan looks at me now, his thoughts aren't just soft anymore. They are afraid. I'm running out of time. He's getting closer. I can feel it. The longer I lie, the worse it'll hurt. I want to scream. Then stop lying. But how do you tell someone the truth? When you've built your entire connection on not knowing. Why Evan hides the truth, revealed through thoughts. During a meeting, Evan barely speaks. He watches everyone carefully, especially me. And then I hear it. They all see the CEO. I wanted him to see Evan first. My chest tightens. I finally understand. He didn't hide the truth to manipulate me. He hid it because he was tired of being wanted for power, money, titles. He listens to me. He laughs with me. He doesn't bow to me. That's what Evan wanted. Something real. And somehow, that makes this harder. Friendship tension. Noah notices before I do. You've been weird lately, he says, leaning back in his chair. Like, quiet. Not your usual emotionally damaged quiet. I snort despite myself. Thanks for the diagnosis. He lowers his voice. Is it Evan? I hesitate. That hesitation is all the answer he needs. Careful, Noah says gently. People like him, they complicate lives. If only he knew how much. Later that evening, Evan stops by my desk. Are you okay? He asks. Just for words. And I almost break. Because I hear the truth behind them. Please say yes. Please don't look at me like that. Please don't pull away. I nod. Yeah. Just tired. Lie. His jaw tightens slightly. I'm losing him. That thought slices straight through me. I want to grab his hand. Tell him I know. Tell him I chose him anyway. But fear wins. Because what if I tell him the truth? And he realizes I've been lying too. As Evan walks away, Noah whispers. Wow. If tension were electricity, you two could power the building. I whisper back, please stop. He grins. No promises. That night, alone in my apartment, I sit on the edge of my bed, head in my hands. I grew up learning that lies destroy families. That silence makes people leave. That love breaks when the truth comes out too late. And now I'm standing on both sides of the secret. Evan thinks he's lying to protect love. I'm lying to protect him. But the lie? It's getting louder. And I don't know how much longer either of us can survive it. If you were me, should I confront Evan and admit I know everything? Or wait until he's ready to tell the truth himself? Is staying silent an act of love or betrayal? What would you do? Chapter 7: When Friendship Breaks. Have you ever lost someone? Not because you stopped loving them, but because you were afraid to speak. It starts with whispers. Not loud enough to confront. Not quiet enough to ignore. I notice it in the way conversations stop when I walk by. In the way eyes flick between Evan and me, curious, suspicious, sharp. Rumors don't need proof. They only need proximity. Why is he always with Evan? Doesn't he seem favored? I tell myself not to care. But I do. The first crack. During a team meeting, Evan assigns me a task, nothing unusual, nothing special. Still, the room tightens. I hear Clara's thought before she speaks. So that's how it works. She smiles at Evan. Interesting choice. The word interesting lands like an accusation. Evan's jaw tightens. This is exactly what I was trying to avoid. And suddenly, I realize something terrifying. I'm not just a secret anymore. I'm a risk. Friendship tested. Noah corners me near the stairwell. Okay, he says quietly. Tell me what's going on. I shake my head. Nothing. Lie. He exhales sharply. People think you're sleeping your way up. That one hurts. They think Evan's favoring you, he continues. And I? He stops. I don't want to believe it. I look at him, heart pounding. Do you? I ask. He hesitates. That hesitation breaks something inside me. That evening, Evan avoids me. Not cruelly. Carefully. If I stay close, it'll get worse for him. I hear it. I feel it. He's protecting me by stepping away. And somehow, that hurts more than anger ever could. When we pass each other in the hallway, he nods politely. Professionally. Like we're strangers. My chest burns. Comedy that almost hurts. Noah tries to lighten the mood. Well, he mutters, on the bright side, at least the rumors upgraded your personality. I laugh, but it comes out wrong. Thin. Cracked. Yeah, I say. Lucky me. That night, I sit alone in the office long after everyone's gone. The chair across from me, Evan's chair, is empty. And for the first time since this started, I can't hear his thoughts. Either he's too far away, or he's built a wall even I can't cross. I don't know which scares me more. If you were Liam, should you fight to save the friendship, even if it fuels rumors? Should Evan have defended you publicly? Or is stepping away the only way to protect someone you love? What would you do? Chapter 8: Power Revealed. What if the truth you were hiding was revealed in front of everyone, before you were ready to lose the person you loved? The meeting was supposed to be routine. Quarterly review. Slides. Numbers. Applause that meant nothing. I almost didn't go. Something in my chest felt wrong, tight, restless, like the air before a storm. I took a seat near the back. Evan was already there, calm as ever, seated beside the board members. Not beside us. Beside them. That's when I felt it. The shift. People straightened. Voices lowered. Eyes sharpened. And then the man at the head of the table stood. "Let me formally introduce," he said, "our founder and CEO, Evan Hale." The room erupted. Applause. Respect. Awe. The sound was deafening. I didn't move. Didn't blink. Didn't react. Because I already knew. But Evan looked at me. Not as a CEO. Not as a man in power. As someone terrified. Please don't look at me differently. That thought hit harder than the applause. The moment everyone watches you break. I felt eyes on me. Questions forming. Connections clicking into place. So that's why. Of course he's close to him. Now it makes sense. I wanted to disappear. Evan stepped forward, speaking confidently to the room, voice steady, practiced. But inside, I've lost him. I stood up. Every instinct screamed not to. But I couldn't sit there pretending to be surprised. "Congratulations," I said flatly, meeting his eyes. My boss didn't mention I was working for the CEO. The room went silent. Evan's breath caught. He hates me. No. That wasn't it. I hated that everyone was watching something that should have been private. I walked out. He followed me into the hallway. "Liam, wait." I turned. There were no thoughts now. Just his voice. "I was going to tell you." "When?" I asked. My voice didn't shake. My heart did. "When it wouldn't change how you see me," he said quietly. I laughed, sharp, bitter. "That was never your choice to make." His eyes darkened. "I didn't want power between us." "There already was," I snapped. "You just pretended there wasn't." Silence. Heavy. Crushing. I wanted to tell him everything. That I knew. That I heard him. That I loved him anyway. But fear won. So I said the one thing that would hurt us both. "I need space." And this time, I meant it. Comedy that doesn't save you. Noah found me later, wide-eyed. "Dude," he whispered. "You almost gave half the board a heart attack." I didn't smile. He sobered instantly. "Are you okay?" I shook my head. No. That night, the city felt colder. My phone buzzed. One message. "Evan. I never meant to lie to you. I just wanted to be loved as myself." I stared at the screen. I could hear nothing. No thoughts. No voice. Just my own heart, breaking in real time. If you were Liam. Was Evan wrong to hide the truth? Was walking away the right choice? Or should love survive power and secrecy? What would you do? Chapter 9, The Distance Between Us. Have you ever felt someone slipping away? Even though they are standing right in front of you? The office felt empty. Not because people weren't there, but because he wasn't. Evan avoided me like the truth itself had been a virus. And every time I saw him across the room, professional and distant, I felt the weight of every word we didn't say. Noah noticed first. "Seriously, Liam," he muttered one morning. "You two are like a storm trapped in a teacup. When is it gonna explode?" I shrugged. "I don't know. Maybe never." He shook his head. "Don't lie to me. Don't lie to yourself." I wanted to argue. I wanted to scream. But the truth? I didn't know how to fix this. Family and life reflections. That night, I sat alone in my apartment. My small desk lamp illuminated letters I never sent to my parents. I thought about why I was always cautious. Why I built walls higher than most people could climb. Why love had always been dangerous. And now, Evan, someone I shouldn't care for, had proven that love was messy, terrifying, and painful. He loved me quietly. I loved him, loudly, in my head, in secret. And yet, Distance had come between us, physical and emotional. And nothing could reach across it. Subtle jealousy and rival tension. Clara noticed the distance too. She started showing up more often, offering help on projects, teasing Evan with easy confidence. I overheard her thought once. Maybe if Liam isn't here, I have a chance. I clenched my fists. I shouldn't care. I know he doesn't like her. But jealousy is a cruel thing. It twists the stomach, sharpens the mind, and whispers, you could lose him. And I felt it creeping into me, a reminder that absence doesn't make the heart forget, it makes it ache. Emotional peak, heartbreak and reflection. One evening, as I left late, I saw him across the street, silhouetted by the city lights. I froze. He's real. He's here. But not mine. I wanted to run across the street. To throw caution and pride aside. I wanted to grab his hand, confess everything, and collapse into honesty. But I didn't. I turned away, walking faster than usual, heart pounding, every step echoing the distance growing between us. I can't lose him. And yet, I already feel like I have. Noah called me that night. You walked past him like a ninja avoiding a bear trap, he said, laughing. I'm not a ninja, I muttered. Nope, he replied, more like someone running away from the only thing that could make life interesting. I didn't argue. Because he was right. That night, I stared at my phone. One message. Evan. I can't stop thinking about you. But I don't know how to reach you without making it worse. I held my breath. I wanted to respond. I wanted to throw away caution and say, I'm here. I'm yours. Always. But my fingers froze. Because distance has a dangerous way of becoming permanent. If you were Liam, would you risk everything to reach him? Or respect his space, even if it breaks your heart? Can love survive distance, jealousy, and unspoken truths? What would you do? Chapter 10. When the world presses in. What happens when the world notices what you've been hiding? And suddenly, everyone has an opinion about your heart? The office had never felt smaller. I walked through the hallways like a ghost, hearing whispers that weren't meant for me, but somehow always reached me. He's close to the CEO. Is he dating him? I heard the CEO favors him over everyone else. Every glance felt like a judgment. Every laugh felt pointed. Every step was a performance I hadn't agreed to. And through it all, Evan stayed calm. Too calm. He's protecting me, I told myself. He's shielding me from the storm. But storms have a way of breaking walls. Jealousy and rival pressure. Clara seemed sharper today, moving faster, smiling wider, teasing lightly around Evan. I overheard her thought while passing by. He's soft with him. Too soft. Maybe I can change that. I wanted to snarl. I wanted to shove the air out of her lungs. Instead, I clenched my fists under my desk. Don't make it obvious. Don't ruin it. But every small action, her laugh, her confidence, her presence, felt like a spotlight on my fears. Rumors explode publicly. During lunch, a colleague whispered loud enough for half the office to hear. Did you hear? Liam's practically living in Evan's shadow. Bet something's going on. The words hit like a punch. I felt everyone's eyes on me. And worst of all, Evan's. He looked at me. Neutral. Professional. Calm. But I heard it. I wish I could hold him and tell him it's okay. My chest burned. It's not okay. Emotional peak, first confrontation in public. Later, in a private corner of the office, I finally snapped. Why aren't you saying anything? I demanded. He blinked. Saying what? About me. About us. About everything. His shoulders sagged. If I say something, it'll make it worse. People will judge. You'll be attacked. You'll hate me. I laughed bitterly. I already hate you for hiding it. He looked stricken. I didn't hide it to hurt you. I hid it so you'd see me, as me, not my title. And now the world sees the title first, I spat. And I can't even touch you without someone noticing. He stepped closer. His voice low, almost a whisper. I love you. And I can't protect us if you push me away. I wanted to collapse into him. To let the world vanish. But pride, fear, and the weight of judgment held me back. Noah popped his head around the corner. Yep, he said dryly. The tension is so thick I think I can slice it with a butter knife. I groaned. Evan smirked slightly. And for one heartbeat, we shared a laugh. Almost normal. That night, walking home, my phone buzzed. Evan. We can't hide anymore. I don't care about anyone else. But I need you to trust me. I froze. Do I take his hand? Do I risk everything? Or do I let the world press in and lose him forever? If you were Liam, would you trust him fully now, despite the pressure? Or step back to protect yourself from judgment? Can love survive when the whole world watches and judges every move? What would you do? Chapter 11, Daylight Courage. What if the moment you've been avoiding is the only moment that can save your heart? The morning sun streamed through the office windows, golden and unforgiving. I had rehearsed my plan in my head 100 times. Face him. Speak the truth. End the distance. Easier said than done. Because the world was watching. And so were our colleagues. Tension builds. I walked into the main hall where everyone gathered for a midweek briefing. Evan was already there, calm, perfectly poised, leaning casually against the glass wall like he owned it. My stomach flipped. Every eye in the room seemed to follow us. Here it comes. This is it. I could hear his thoughts as clearly as if he had whispered them. Stay close. Be brave. Don't let go. I swallowed. I can do this. Emotional peak, first public confession. The meeting ended, and everyone started filing out. Evan approached me quietly, his eyes soft but intense. I can't keep hiding, he said. My thoughts, my feelings, you deserve to know. I held my breath. Here it is. Finally. I know everything, I said, steady despite the quiver in my chest. Every thought. Every feeling. And I feel the same. His eyes widened. Relief, surprise, and something deeper flickered there. Liam, he whispered, voice thick, trembling just slightly. You really mean that? Yes, I said, stepping closer. I don't care about titles. I don't care about anyone else. I care about you. Always. And in that moment, the office disappeared. No whispers. No judgments. No rumors. Just us. Jealousy and rival tension resolve. Clara watched from a distance, a small, knowing smile on her face. She said nothing. And somehow, that felt like a victory too. Because finally, nothing else mattered. Noah leaned against the doorway, grinning. Finally. Took you long enough. Bravo. I smiled faintly. Thanks for the moral support. He snorted. Moral support? Buddy, I've been dying to see fireworks. Comedy beat, relief in humor. Evan laughed softly, shaking his head at Noah. I think we survived the storm, he said. I think the storm is just starting, I teased, heart lighter than it had been in days. And we laughed. Together. Later, alone on the rooftop, the city light sparkling beneath us. I was scared, Evan confessed. Scared you'd reject me once you knew the truth. I took his hand, holding it tight. I'd never reject. Hall where everyone gathered for a midweek briefing. Evan was already there, calm, perfectly poised, leaning casually against the glass wall like he owned it. My stomach flipped. Every eye in the room seemed to follow us. Here it comes. This is it. I could hear his thoughts as clearly as if he had whispered them. Stay close. Be brave. Don't let go. I swallowed. I can do this. Emotional peak, first public confession. The meeting ended, and everyone started filing out. Evan approached me quietly, his eyes soft but intense. I can't keep hiding, he said. My thoughts, my feelings, you deserve to know. I held my breath. Here it is. Finally. I know everything, I said, steady despite the quiver in my chest. Every thought. Every feeling. And I feel the same. His eyes widened. Relief, surprise, and something deeper flickered there. Liam, he whispered, voice thick, trembling just slightly. You really mean that? Yes, I said, stepping closer. I don't care about titles. I don't care about anyone else. I care about you. Always. And in that moment, the office disappeared. No whispers. No judgments. No rumors. Just us. Jealousy and rival tension resolve. Clara watched from a distance, a small, knowing smile on her face. She said nothing. And somehow, that felt like a victory too. Because finally, nothing else mattered. Noah leaned against the doorway, grinning. Finally. Took you long enough. Bravo. I smiled faintly. Thanks for the moral support. He snorted. Moral support? Buddy, I've been dying to see fireworks. Comedy beat, relief in humor. Evan laughed softly, shaking his head at Noah. I think we survived the storm, he said. I think the storm is just starting, I teased, heart lighter than it had been in days. And we laughed. Together. Cliffhanger ending. Later, alone on the rooftop, the city light sparkling beneath us. I was scared, Evan confessed. Scared you'd reject me once you knew the truth. I took his hand, holding it tight. I'd never reject you. Not now, not ever. And for the first time, in daylight, surrounded by the world. We were free. But just as the warmth of victory settled, I couldn't shake the feeling that the world outside the rooftop had not forgotten us. That danger, judgment, and jealousy were still waiting. And we'd have to be brave, together. If you were Liam, would you step into the world openly with him now? Or remain cautious, knowing judgment still lurks? Can love truly survive when the world presses in, even after honesty? What would you do? Chapter 12, No More Pretending. What if the hardest part of love isn't confessing, but living honestly after the truth is out? The next morning, the air felt different. Not louder. Not brighter. Just heavier. Every step I took through the office felt real in a way it never had before. No hiding glances. No pretending distance meant nothing. Evan walked beside me, not too close, not far away. Together. And somehow, that scared me more than secrecy ever did. Reality hits. People noticed. Of course they did. Not because we were touching. Not because we were obvious. But because we weren't careful anymore. The way Evan slowed his steps when I did. The way I automatically turned toward him when someone spoke. Small things. Honest things. They see us now. I caught fragments of thoughts as we passed desks. So it's real. I didn't expect this. Good for them. Not all of them were cruel. That surprised me. Emotional shift, private conversation. In the break room, Evan leaned against the counter, watching me carefully. Are you okay? He asked. I nodded, then shook my head. Both. He smiled softly. That's fair. I exhaled. I keep waiting for something bad to happen. He stepped closer, lowering his voice. It might. But we won't face it alone. For the first time, I believed him completely. Noah walked in, froze mid-step, then slowly clapped. "Wow," he said. Walking openly. No whispering. No dramatic exits. 10 out of 10 character development. I groaned. "Please don't." Evan chuckled. "You've been waiting to say that." "Since day one," Noah replied proudly. And just like that, the tension cracked. Laughter filled the room. Real laughter. Family pressure appears. That evening, Evan's phone buzzed. He glanced at the screen and stiffened. "Everything okay?" I asked. "My father," he said quietly. He heard. My chest tightened. He slipped the phone back into his pocket, eyes dark with something unresolved. "He wants to talk," Evan added. "Soon." I reached for his hand. "Then we'll talk. Together." He looked at me, really looked, and nodded. Cliffhanger ending. Later that night, lying awake, I realized something terrifying. I could hear his thoughts clearly again. "I'm not afraid of the world," Evan thought. "I'm afraid of losing him." I turned toward him in the dark. "Hey," I whispered. "Yes?" "No more pretending," I said. His hand found mine instantly. "No more," he agreed. But somewhere beyond the walls of our quiet moment, the world was already preparing its next test. If you were Liam, should Evan face his family openly now? Or protect their fragile peace a little longer? Is honesty always the best choice, even when it invites conflict? What would you do? Chapter 13, In the Light. What if love doesn't need darkness to survive, but courage to be seen? The room was silent in the way only important moments are. Evan stood across from his father, shoulders straight, jaw tight. I stood beside him, not behind, not hidden. Beside. Sunlight poured through the tall windows, stripping away every shadow we'd once relied on. "This is him," Evan said calmly. "Liam." His father's gaze shifted to me. Measured. Sharp. Curious. "So," he said slowly, "this is the reason you've changed." Evan didn't hesitate. "No. Here's the reason I finally stopped lying." My chest tightened. Family conflict, truth spoken aloud. His father sighed, rubbing his temple. "You understand what this means for the company? For your image?" Evan nodded. "I do." Then, he took my hand. Publicly. Firmly. "But if I have to choose between a flawless image and a real life," he continued, voice steady, "I choose him." I felt his thought like a pulse in my chest. "Please don't let this cost him everything." I squeezed his hand back. "We'll survive it." Emotional peak, acceptance, not perfection. His father studied us for a long moment. Then, unexpectedly, he laughed, soft, tired. "You look at him the way I once looked at your mother," he said quietly. Terrified, and unwilling to let go. Evan blinked. "You're not angry." "I am," his father admitted. "At the world. At expectations. At myself." He met my eyes. "But not at you." Something loosened in my chest. "Just don't hurt each other," he added. "That's the only rule that matters." The kiss, in the light. We stepped out onto the rooftop afterward. The city stretched endlessly below us, loud, bright, alive. Evan turned to me, eyes shining with relief, disbelief, joy. "We're really doing this," he said. I smiled, heart racing. "Yeah. We are." He leaned in slowly, giving me time to pull away. I didn't. Our lips met, soft at first, tentative. Then sure. Not rushed. Not hidden. A kiss kissed by daylight, by truth, by choice. I felt his smile against my mouth. For the first time. Nothing was louder than my heart. Wow, Noah's voice called from behind us. Could have warned me. I would have brought popcorn. I groaned. Evan laughed into my shoulder. Go away, I said. Nope, Noah replied cheerfully. This is historical. That evening, as we walked hand in hand through the office, no whispers, no hiding. I realized something. Love hadn't erased the challenges. But it had changed us. And as Evan squeezed my hand, his thought echoed warmly in my mind. Whatever comes next, we face it together. If you were Liam, would you kiss him openly, knowing the world is watching? Was Evan's father right to accept without conditions? Do you believe love should always be lived in the light? Special scene, the kiss. The rooftop was quiet. Not silent, just calm in the way the world gets when it finally stops demanding explanations. Evan stood in front of me, close enough that I could feel his warmth, far enough that the choice was still mine. I've wanted this, he said softly, almost like a confession meant only for the wind. But I never wanted to take it. My chest tightened. You're not, I whispered. I'm here. That was when his hand rose, slow, careful, fingers brushing my jaw as if he was memorizing the shape of me. The touch alone made my breath falter. For a second, we just stayed there. Looking. Waiting. Feeling everything we hadn't allowed ourselves to feel before. Then he leaned in. Not rushed. Not desperate. Our lips met gently, barely a touch at first, a question more than a kiss. I answered by moving closer. The kiss deepened naturally, unforced, like it had been waiting for us to stop being afraid. Warm. Steady. Real. His hand slid to the back of my neck, anchoring me, grounding me in the moment. Mine curled into his shirt, holding on as if letting go would break the spell. I felt his breath hitch against my lips. I heard his thought, quiet but certain. This is home. When we finally pulled back, our foreheads rested together, breaths uneven, hearts loud in the space between us. No words followed. None were needed. Because some kisses don't begin a love story. They confirm it. Subscribe for slow burn love, real emotions, and untold stories.